are a few things that influenced me to become a physician. Probably most importantly was my own childhood experience. Growing up as a child in the inner city, starting off in the Henry Horner projects, which are no longer there, but if you've ever read or seen the movie There Are No Children Here, those are the projects that I started off in. So being orphaned at the age of 6 and being placed with family members in a home environment that was just not very healthy for any child. I understood firsthand what it's like for children to suffer and to need an advocate and a watchman on the wall. And that is really what was my primary driver for becoming a physician and a pediatrician. One of the first barriers I had was in my own home, where, for whatever reason, my desire to learn was seen as a threat. And that unfortunately meant that at times, if I was caught with books, if I was caught studying when I should be rearing my younger cousins, that was met with punishment. And as I got older, my grandmother came to understand that physical punishment did not deter me. What really wounded me was to not be allowed to go to school and to have my education. And so that became a means of punishment for me until it reached the point where the decision was to either give in and allow myself to be sold or keep fighting and find a way out. And the Lord opened the door so that I could eventually leave home by running away, unfortunately. When I was 16, I was accepted into college, where I encountered several challenges. It's because I was Black and choosing to major in biology clearly with medicine in view. And that was something that was not embraced or encouraged at a school that was very white and not conducive to the dreams of Black and brown students who wanted to do medicine. From professors actively telling me that I had no place there and that I would never make it, to students sabotaging experiments. So I double majored, worked 2 part-time jobs, carried as many as 26 hours a semester so that I could graduate in 3 years, because it meant I was hungry, cold, and at one point even homeless, and studying on the L trains. But I was determined to do it. And the Lord brought me through that. And then once I did get into medical school, there were people who did not believe that I had a right to be there and felt that because I was Black, I had been given some special pass, which meant I was probably taking a seat from one of their more worthy friends, relatives. And that culture permeates throughout medical education. And so on those very, very hard and challenging days, I was always able to remember the faithfulness of my father and what he did to put me there and how he was guiding me. I never thought when I became a pediatrician that there would be so many ways in which I could leverage the 2 letters behind my name to improve things for the communities that I serve. The way in which my inspiration for becoming a pediatrician actually affects my work is quite varied. I believe that children can suffer in a variety of ways, not only just physically. However, I think that there are also societal injustices that can cause suffering for children, whether it's a lack of adequate food in the community. And so that might mean looking at going in and physically talking to store owners about the quality of the food that I'm seeing on the shelves. It may look like coming alongside a parent at their child's multidisciplinary conference and helping that parent to navigate and advocate for what their child needs. And of course, there is that whole child advocacy piece with Child Protective Services, where I'm needing to step in to make sure children are being cared for appropriately. And there are other times when parents may have unjustly come under the Child Protective Services system and need help navigating that and connecting them with advocates for parents to help them to be treated with the dignity and respect they deserve. There is so much wonder and beauty in what I do. I almost feel ashamed sometimes that I actually get paid for doing it. I just think about simple things like every newborn that I see, I ask the parents, can I bless this child? Would you mind if I pray for them? And part of that prayer for each of those babies is that when they are of age, they will choose to serve you with their whole heart. And so I think about 20 years, 30 years from now, I might be dead and gone. But if God honored just half those prayers, a whole generation of faith-filled adults on the west side of Chicago, they could turn this world upside down. They could turn the city upside down. They could do what the police couldn't do. They could do what the politicians couldn't do. They can bring real hope to the community. If I had to go back and talk to that little girl who's dirty and ragged and feeling unloved, I would encourage her in that God really truly sees and knows and loves. And if you only had a glimpse of what He has in store for you. The hand of God has been upon me for as long as I can remember. And He has been so good, so kind, so gracious. He has protected me from all kinds of things that could have happened. He's allowed me to be in the fire enough to refine me, but not enough to destroy me. And I'm just so grateful to Him. I owe Him all. And I will not offer Him anything that costs me nothing.